Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about Halo Infinite's rather uncertain future. This game has been nothing short of a rollercoaster. The launch period of this game has had so many ups and also so many downs, and this game right now as it stands is in such a peculiar state. So today I want to talk about this uncertain future and kind of set some expectations for the future, for future updates and seasons and the like. So let's get into it. Now, I think it's pretty obvious at this point that people are starting to get rather frustrated with the current state of Halo Infinite, with the live service multiplayer aspect specifically, so I think it's probably best right at the start of this video to just kind of set the stage and go through some of the issues that people have with the game as it stands right now. There's only one ranked playlist, there are only a few social playlists, and all of which feel really sweaty thanks to social MMR. There's no infection, no assault, which also means by extension, no griffball either. No King of the Hill, there's only been one new game mode added since launch, and for some peculiar reason it was removed after a week of being in the game for no reason, despite the game having serious content issues. There's no big third mode like Warzone or Invasion or Firefight in Halo Reach and ODST, and there's also no Firefight or co-op PvE casual experience at all. Customs are broken, theatre is broken, core locked armor and coatings, no service record, no progression system, barely any unlocks outside of the store, barely any goals or unlockables like commendations to strive for outside of the battle pass, lackluster weekly rewards, lackluster events, desync, laggy menus and UI, poor optimization, especially on PC, poor keyboard and mouse optimization with things like negative aim assist for the sniper, and so on. This game has quite a few issues right now. But for me personally, I think the main issue with this game right now that encompasses all of what I just talked about and more is the uncertainty surrounding it, thanks to 343's peculiar silence with the fixes and content additions that we need. Right now, the biggest thing that we need for this game is the roadmap, and as of the date of releasing this video, it's been a month since they delayed the roadmap, and we've not had a single mention of it whatsoever since that. More communication from 343 right now would be so good with this, even if it was something as simple as, hey, we know that you're all really eagerly anticipating the roadmap, but we just need a little bit more time to finalize it and to ensure that we can deliver on what we set out. Just some word on it would be fantastic. In its current state, this game feels totally unfinished, both in terms of the volume of content and also its polish. I mean, once you've finished the battle pass, there's practically nothing to do, and I think this is being accurately reflected in its quickly declining population indicators. And people are starting to get frustrated. Now, I do think one of the reasons that people are getting frustrated with this game is because for the first time since Halo 3, 343 have made a Halo game, the core of which is almost unanimously loved. No one's complaining about gameplay stuff anymore. People love the core gameplay, they love how the game feels and plays, but all the surrounding issues are clouding that enjoyment. Now, sadly, I have a rather bad feeling that it's going to be quite a long time before this game has the level of content that people have come to expect. Right now, I honestly think that people's expectations for Season 2 as an update for the game, and onward as well, are set far too high as a byproduct of how frustrated they are with the current state of the game. I mean, for Season 2, for example, I see people expecting like a progression system and cross-core customization and campaign co-op and functioning customs in theatre and an entirely new battle pass with tons of new armor and a UI overhaul and much, much more just with the Season 2 update. And I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't think that that volume of content is realistic whatsoever. And it's these unrealistic expectations that make me concerned for Season 2, because there's almost a 0% chance it delivers anything even close to the amount of content people have come to expect, and if/when it doesn't, people are probably just going to get even more frustrated. It kind of reminds me of that like whole Half-Life 3 thing, right? Like, it's almost a running joke with Half-Life 3 now that the reason Valve won't make the game is because people have been waiting for it for so long, and as a result their expectations for it have become so high that no matter how good it ends up being, many people will just be disappointed because their expectations were simply too high. And I guess that's the real takeaway that I wanna make with this video. It's something that I want you to take away from this video. I would be reasonable with your expectations. Not because I don't have faith in 343 to deliver, and not because you shouldn't expect content that almost every other Halo game launched with, but so you don't start expecting unrealistic volumes of content with each season and just remain perpetually disappointed when the seasonal updates don't deliver what you expected. And I also think as well that the structure of these seasons and their updates need to be remembered too. This isn't like Halo 5 anymore, where we get a big update with a decently good amount of content every month. Seasons are now 3 months long, or 6 months in the case of Season 1, and if the mid-season update for Season 1 is anything to go by, we probably won't get any major content drops throughout the season. They'll just come at the start of the season, and then we're going to be waiting for the next season for the next one. That said, I can maybe see them doing what Call of Duty do with the seasons, and holding some of the content back and not releasing it at the start of the season, so they can kind of slowly trickle it out as the season progresses to keep fresh content coming, which I honestly don't think would be the worst idea. But even with that, there's still going to be a 3-month gap at least between major content releases. Now, I think it's fair to say that not every single game mode and feature and bug fix that people expect will be included in the Season 2 update, because, like I said, that volume of content is just frankly unrealistic. Instead, I imagine all the stuff that we expect will come to the game just over the next few seasons or so, which means we're going to be waiting, I'd say, at least a year, if not maybe a bit more than a year, before this game reaches the, and let me add, very subjective state of content completion. And also, you've got to remember as well, because the game's a live service game, technically it doesn't have that kind of conventional content complete finish line, because the game is always being updated, right? It's perpetually being updated, so it's never in a state of pure content completion. That said, I do think we're going to be waiting a long time for the volume of content that we expect from the game. I'd say the next major update this game has coming out that should be a big moment for the game is Season 3 that releases Forge, which I think should be coming out in August-ish. And I think Forge in this game is going to be frankly incredible. I think that it's going to breathe a lot of new life into this game. However, I will be honest, I do also have some reservations about the launch of Forge. Not the mode itself, but the other things that surround Forge. You gotta remember, right, Forge needs a robust file sharing system to share your creations, and also I'd argue a server browser as well to quickly get people to play your creations. Being able to create something is one thing, but if sharing and experiencing your creations isn't given equally as much thought, then where's the incentive to create, you know? And this worries me because 343 do not have the best track record when it comes to file browsing. Granted, they've got a great track record when it comes to custom game browsing. Halo 5 and MCCs are both fantastic, but you also need a file browser as well to get those files to play, and if that robust system isn't there, and isn't at least on par with Reach in terms of functionality and usability, then it's definitely going to dampen the Forge experience. But to just return to the state of the game, I think at this point, Halo Infinite's only chance at hitting proper mainstream popularity again, like what it had at launch when it was freshly released, is reliant on something entirely new at this point that almost acts as a relaunch for the game. I think staple Halo modes and features would have been able to keep that mainstream audience and popularity had they been there at launch when the game was like the talk of the town, you know, but basically none of them were. I mean, not having the 20 million players that have already played this game exposed to people's creations in Forge, or a wide array of modes and playlists that really show Halo's gameplay off in the best light possible and have tons of content to unlock and progress through was just such a gigantic wasted opportunity. And now, as important and absolutely crucial as things like Infection and King of the Hill and a progression system and core unlocked armor and coatings are, and as much as I genuinely think that those features, and many like them, should be priority number one, I just don't see them really exciting the mainstream gaming audience. Don't get me wrong, those things might be a big deal to us, those features might mean a lot to us, and they are very important, but to casual fans who hop around games all the time and just play all the mainstream games, are those returning modes really going to be a big deal to them? Personally, I don't think so. I think it's going to take something entirely new with a proper mainstream marketing push behind it to recapture that audience that we had at launch and that we've subsequently lost. And funnily enough, actually, as reported recently by Windows Central, Certain Affinity, led by Halo 2 and Halo 3 ex-Bungie veteran Max Hoberman, may be working on just that. They're apparently working on an entirely new game mode codenamed Tatanka, which, and I quote, could be several months out at this point and is designed to be a more newcomer-friendly experience that isn't as demanding competitively than existing multiplayer modes, Big Team Battle and Arena. It's also intended to entice users who typically aren't interested in Halo, potentially targeting gamers on Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, or Apex Legends. Now, this is a good sign because I really think that this is what the game needs, something that's entirely new for both mainstream gaming fans and also Halo fans, that leverages Halo's extremely good gameplay and all the unique features that make Halo Halo, but add them into a new experience and create something entirely new. I think that is Halo Infinite's best shot at regaining mainstream popularity now, because I just don't see returning features from old games being that enticing for gamers who are used to other games that constantly get new content drops with loads of new features and new content to experience. Overall, I'm really just starting to think that Infinite has been just a massive wasted opportunity. I mean, not only did you launch alongside Battlefield 2042 and Call of Duty Vanguard, two of the most meh shooters in a long time, you were literally handed a win on a silver platter. But not only that, you also created the first Halo game since Halo 3 with almost unanimously loved core gameplay. I don't think people are appreciating how impossible of a task that was, and yet 343 managed it. They got the hard stuff right, and yet the simple stuff they've just fumbled on. And I also can't help but think that one of the core tenets of all of these issues, the complete lack of content, the insanely slow updates and bug fixes, is the live service system, or I guess I should call it at this point an unalive service system, because a core facet of a live service system is frequent updates to keep the game fresh, and we've had one new game mode since launch, and that's it. I mean, where's the live service system for this game? That's what I don't understand. 10-year plan? Are you kidding me? We can't even last 5 months at this point with the live service system, let alone a decade. Okay, so just to bring this video to a head, because it's starting to get a little bit messy, I just kind of want to get my thoughts out onto a page about this game and just talk about it for a little bit. I have two things that I want you to take away from this video. Firstly, make your expectations for updates and content drops realistic based on what they've been like so far for Halo Infinite. Don't go into seasonal updates expecting an insane volume of content, because you are just going to be disappointed. And secondly, 343, please communicate more about the state of the game and future updates, even if that communication is just we're still working on it, we'll talk about it more soon. Just something, some kind of reassurance that you are working on bug fixes for many of the bugs that are plaguing the game, and that you are working on content that people want to see for the game to release down the line. Just some kind of reassurance would be great right now. But yeah, I'm going to run this video out here because I don't want to drag this video on for any longer than I need to. So leave your thoughts on the current state of Infinite down below in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see come in Season 2, what kind of content you'd like to see come in the future, what kind of updates you'd like to see. Let me know down below in the comments. So I want to give a massive thank you to all of my amazing patrons for the continued support over there as per usual. Thank you very much, and thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.